watch the video. Okay, and I see guys are trickling in as we speak. Yes. So welcome, group 3, group 4. All right, welcome to all of you. Guys, we had already started the session, so we're just going to continue from where we left off. Okay, but as you know, everything that I all the sessions that I have with you guys, I post on YouTube. So as soon as we're done with class, what I'm going to do is I'll share the links to the session that we've had, so then you can just quickly catch up on the little bit that you may have missed. Okay? All right, cool. So I'm now going to proceed from where we left off. Cool. Right. So we had gone to banking, we had gone to transactions, and we went to banking. Okay. And then this is the screen that then popped up, and we're just explaining what's happening on this screen. Okay. We had to explain all these functions. The only function that we were now at was the search function. Okay. So, and the search function is when we're searching for a specific transaction. In this case, you can see that they're searching for electricity. So can you see all the electricity transactions have popped up? Okay. So that's how we use the search functionality in the bank. Because sometimes you may be looking, trying to find a certain transaction that you might believe maybe didn't go off, or you're not sure about one or two things, the amount it went off for, etc. Could be any number of reasons. Then this button here, what does it do? What is it about? Let's see. That is basically for controlling or editing your grid. Okay, you can sort each of the columns on your banking screen from largest to smallest or alphabetically. This will allow you to sort the data quickly and easily to help you review your transactions. Okay, all right, so you can customize your grid. All right, you can set it up from largest to smallest or alphabetically. Okay, the choice is up to you. Okay, you can also set the number of rows and so forth. Okay, so that's what that is all about. Okay, then we have this right here. What is that about? Okay, let's see. This is if we want more detail. There are so many options for you in Sage Accounting, as well as information to display. Because of this, not all your information displays on the transaction line. Okay, we have limited information just from this transaction line. Can you see that? All right. To access the additional fields, like the comments section, or to assign a transaction to an analysis code, you will need to click on the show more icon. Okay, so that's what it's called, the show more icon. We will also display your split information if you have split the transaction, or will display the invoices you have assigned your payment or receipt to. Okay, so this just gives you more information, period. Okay, right. Split transaction, what are we saying? In a split transaction, sometimes we may remember in accounting, sometimes we will say we have drawings by the owner, and the owner used 50 Rand for his own personal use, and he used 50 Rand to go and buy stationery for the business. Can you see that's a split transaction? 50 Rand of the 100 Rand that he withdrew was for his own use, and 50 Rand was for stationery. Somebody raised their hand or want to say something? Okay, all right. If you do, guys, feel free to switch on your mic, and then we can obviously engage from there. Okay. Now, over here. Now, let me just show you again. We clicked on this one right here. Okay. These rules will change the way you do your cash book processing. Okay. So this is like a rules function. Okay. It's where you set up rules, okay, and save you countless hours. Okay, okay, let me read through it, then I'll explain. They apply to users that import their bank statements into Sage Accounting using either the bank feeds or the normal import bank statements feature. What these rules will do once you have set them up is look for a keyword in your bank statement, for example, telecom, and if it sees this text in your import file, it will automatically assign the transaction to the correct account in your accounting records. In this example, telephone expenses. Okay, you can set these rules up in such a way that 80% of your cash book processing is already done as soon as you import your bank statement. Okay, so we are going to talk more to this, but this is basically bank statement mapping rules. And now what happens is whenever Sage imports your whatever business or accounting transactions that took place on your respective accounts, when it sees things like telecom, it'll know, okay, telecom, that's a telephone expense. So you don't have to come in and actually then review that transaction and say telephone expense. So that's why they're saying it saves 80% of your cash book processing. All right. It saves you from having to do it because it's automatically allocating the transactions. Does that make sense? Likewise, remember there we were searching electricity. So what we could also do to set up a rule, we could say wherever you see ESCOM, all right, that is electricity expense. Okay. So every time it sees ESCOM, we know, okay, that is electricity expense. So we don't have to come in, log into Sage, go into our banking feeds, then actually say, oh, okay, I see there ESCOM, that was a electricity expense that I needed to pay for. It'll automatically do that for you and therefore save you time. Okay. Then this next one, what's going on over here? This is now splitting transactions. So this is where what I was talking about. All right. With the split transaction option, you can split one bank statement line into various account allocations. Okay. So if you pay the municipality for rates, electricity, and water, and want to record these separately in Sage Accounting, you can by splitting the payment to different ledger accounts. Okay. All right. So you would then go to, so I'm just going to take a second there. So this, let's say there's a transaction here. You would then come here and then you would click on this icon here. All right. Then you could then say payee. Okay. And then you're then explaining, okay, what type of account and selecting the respective accounts. Okay. So in this example, I wish they had continued with the example that they gave. So can you see the total transaction there? It's a payment and it's for 22,200. Okay. Now here's where you can begin to split. And can you see again we have the red circle to delete and the green circle to add. So we can continue splitting this thing. Keep on splitting this thing. So we could say 15,000 was for this, 5,000 was for this, 2,000 was for this, and the 200 was for this. Okay. Right. And for instance, in this example, we know that rates is VAT exempt. So there you would say no VAT, all right? All right, or yeah, it's no VAT, not VAT exempt. Then electricity, we know, standard rated, okay? Water, standard rated, okay? So that's splitting a transaction. And remember earlier I gave the example of drawings. 50 Rand was used for the owner for his personal use. 50 Rand was used for stationery, which is a business expense, okay? So there you could split it up, okay? Then let's see what this is all about. Attachments, okay? You are able to attach any documents such as proof of payment, remittance, advice, etc. to each transaction imported on the on the banking screen. So man, these are very excellent facilities that you have here that we can take advantage of. A lot of the time you won't use most of this stuff, okay? But yeah, it's quite special. Then here, when you receive money from a customer or pay money to a supplier, all right, you are now able to allocate that money directly to the invoice which it relates to, straight from the banking screen. Okay. So here, remember what I was telling you when we we're making invoices? I was saying now when the customer pays you, you can allocate that. All right. When the supplier, when you've paid them, you can allocate your payment to the respective invoice that you made for that supplier. Okay. Right. But now, we're now doing it from the bank's side. Okay. You're not doing it from the bank side. So, let's see. Mm, so that's the button you press there. Can you see that? So I just wanted to show you. Let's do that again. I'm at reviewed transactions. Okay. I don't have any, yeah, I don't have any new ones. So I'm at reviewed transactions. They've already allocated. Can you see it's orange? So they've already kind of allocated this. Okay. So there, can you see they selected an invoice? Okay, they selected an invoice. And this invoice popped up because they had already selected the customer. Can you see? That's why I was saying we need to have, in an ideal world, you want to create your customers and suppliers prior. So when you allocate, you know, okay, cool, this was for this invoice here, this payment, or this receipt, because this was money coming in. Okay, and that was the date when this invoice took place, and that was the total on it. All right, and that was the total that was received. Okay, then you just click save, and you will have saved. Okay, receipt amount, can you see? Allocated invoice, all right, unallocated amount 0, can you see? So they no longer owe us anything because they paid the full amount on the invoice. Then you just click save. So that's what that button there is for, to allocate your payments or your receipts from customers. Okay, right. And let's see, I think that's it for the overview. No, that's not it. Okay. So here now they're explaining the general information, how it's laid out. So here on date, select the date for the transaction. Okay. So that's literally the date the transaction took place. Over here, payee, who enter the payee details in the column, in the payee column. All right. Who are we paying? All right. We're paying the municipality. We're paying Joburg Advertising. We're paying Telkom. Can you see that? Can you see this is a lot like your cash payments journal? Okay. Then over here, description. What exactly is going on? Sometimes you'll see in the transaction they'll provide a brief description. All right. So here, description. Enter description for the transaction in the description column. Okay. Cool. No problem. Then here, type. What is this? Type column. You have to select the transaction type in the type column by using the drop-down menu that displays. This column requires you to select whether it is an account, all right, a customer, a supplier, a transfer, or VAT transaction. You must assign the type of transaction to each line. Otherwise, Sage Accounting will not allow you to process the transaction. Okay, so again, we just have this one transaction. Can you see where type? We click on type. Can you see there's a drop down now? Click on the drop down. Can you see? So this remember, this is a payment from a customer. So that's why we clicked on customer. Okay. Had it been one of our accounts, let's say what? An account where we're receiving money. So we click on account there. Now we have to click which account exactly is this where we're receiving money. So we can say it's sales. Okay. A bike buzz. Okay, so maybe we sold the bike buzz. All right. Or we could have what other sale services rendered. Can you see services rendered? Okay. And so I'm trying to, yeah, dividend income, rent income. We could have selected those too, but let me change that back. This was a customer. Do I remember the customer? Yup, I forgot the customer. I done did forget. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so let me just go back. Okay, I didn't save changes, so hopefully that won't do anything. Okay, whilst that's loading, let's continue. So that's how that works. Type selection, I just showed you how that works. Reference, what check number was this? What receipt number was this? That's what they're basically talking to over there. Here they say Sage Accounting will automatically generate a reference for each transaction in the reference column. Select the reference field to edit it if required. This reference must be unique to the transaction line for future reference purposes. Okay, the reference can be a number or a description. Remember what I told you? Sage, you just need to insert the right information. Sage will do everything for you. Can you see they've generated the check number, they've generated the receipt number, and whatever other references they could be, they generated for you. Okay, VAT column, the next step is to select the correct VAT type. Okay, and this is why it was so important for us to do your accounting first, because now you see that, hey, if you didn't know what standard rated is or how to, whether something is standard rated, there's no VAT on it or it's exempt, what were you going to be doing here? Okay, now you use this drop down menu to select the appropriate tax type if applicable. If you select the VAT type, the amount will not change. It will just process the exclusive amount to the correct account and process the tax amount to the appropriate tax account. So can you see now it's doing the input VAT and output VAT calculations for you, all right, and processing it to the correct accounts for you, all right, without you having to do that. All you need to do is come here and say, this is standard rated, this is exempt, this is non-allowable, etc, etc. Okay. Then spent, as I told you, enter the amount that went out of the bank account or the account in the spent column. These are monies paid over to accounts or suppliers. It's money leaving us, spent, okay? And then received is money coming in, it's money coming into our bank account, all right, or money that we are receiving, okay? What is this about? Reconciled, okay? Confirm that payments or receipts on your bank or credit card statement displayed in Sage Accounting by selecting the check boxes in the reconciled column. So it's just, okay, so you'll understand that a little bit better when we do bank reconciliation in Accounting 1B. So you guys will probably see that next year. Okay, you guys will probably see that next year. All right, so that's just explaining the columns that you get in that actual bank module. Okay, right, cool. So then what I want us to do is quickly just do importing. Okay, and I told you we would talk about it a little bit more. So again, how do we get to this? Okay, you click on import bank statement button in the banking screen. So let's go there. Let's see this. So I go banking, I go transactions, I go banking. Okay, click on that, and this is the screen we arrive at. Okay, so wait for it to load. Okay. Okay. And remember, guys, I told you guys that on your VC Learn, and let me just go there now quickly. Just wanted to note this is not the one. Okay, so here in your classroom resources, remember I told you that these files that I want you to upload, these files, oh, there's nothing in relation to banking. Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. But if you go into your activities, I think you'll see that you can actually put in some transactions, and then they'll ask you to actually allocate those transactions. But anyway, we'll talk about that a bit later, all right, in the second session. So click on Import Bank Statement button in the banking screen. We are now in the banking screen. You have to be on new transactions, not on reviewed transactions. New transactions, import bank statement, and look, that's what we have there, okay? Now, typically, these are the different file formats that you can get, okay? Typically, you would be using CSV, okay? And here you need to make sure that your date format is the same in the document that you're uploading, the date format should be like this. It should be day, month, and then year. Okay. If it's not like that, look for the format that it's in. Could be year, month, day. Okay. Then you now browse. All right. And then I browse. Okay. Then it's looking on my PC, you know, looking for something. Then obviously we can select. This is obviously not going to go through because that's not the right format. And then, but I'm just showing you how you would select a document. Okay. Funny, this is actually your IQTT result. And then here, date range. Okay, so what's happening over there? Over there, you can pick specific dates that you want to import from the file that you've uploaded. Okay, or you can actually upload all transactions. Okay, so if you want to upload all transactions, then this date, can you see I can't edit anything? If I want to pick specific dates, then can you see dates to import? Now I can actually select which dates, okay? I want from beginning of August, so click on that, and then I want to the end of August, okay? Click on that, okay? Because we've already imported everything for July, our books are up to date. Then I can click import file, okay? There's a problem with your import file. Your CSV file does not match the required format. Can you see? I told you guys, it's an Excel document. Okay, and here we don't have Excel. We only have OFX and CSV. Okay, right. All right, cool. So once you've done that, you'll see it then should import. It'll ask you one or two questions. Okay, right. But I want us to proceed. I don't know if there's a question. I think I heard the chat go off. Nope, nothing. Okay, no problem. Right, what's the time? Okay, all right. So I see it's time for your break. I hope that's it. Okay, we discussed this. I showed you these things, date format, this. I showed you this. Okay, so we don't need to go through that. That's fine. Okay, we'll discuss this when you guys come back from your break. Okay, so let's take a 10-minute break and then I'll see you guys at 11 and then we'll continue with the banking module. Okay, see you guys in 10.